What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, you have Gervonta Tank Davis' team now admitting that they witnessed the sparring session between Gervonta Tank Davis and his upcoming opponent, Frank the Ghost Martin, who was said to have had gotten the better or landed the bigger, cleaner shots against Gervonta Tank Davis in said sparring session, right? Frank Martin, he stated that he had knocked out Gervonta Tank Davis's close friend. They were supposed to do 6 rounds of sparring, but he knocked him out in 4 rounds. And Gervonta Tank Davis wanted his get back. And Gervonta Tank Davis surprised Frank Martin when Frank Martin walked in the gym to have another sparring session with the same sparring partner that he knocked out of the close friend of Tank Davis. He suddenly found himself sparring Gervonta Tank Davis himself. Without his gear, Floyd Mayweather assisted and gave him his gear. And once Floyd Mayweather gave him his gear, they got in the ring. He said it was good work, but I landed the bigger, better shots, which Frank Martin stated. Gervonta Tank Davis team stated that they witnessed the sparring sessions and that Frank Martin did get off and have moments against Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, clearly they're not going to say Frank Martin won the sparring session or had the better of Gervonta Tank Davis. They're not going to admit that. But he states that Frank Martin did have moments, but because of his physique, because of his approach, his appearance, Frank Martin looks like he's hitting harder than he actually is. How does he look like he's hitting harder than he actually is? Because of his physique and his appearance being muscular. It made it look like he was hitting Gervonta Tank Davis harder than he was actually hitting him? Y'all know the angry monkey on Family Guy? Say again? Come again? Say what? His physique and his appearance made him look harder, made him look like he was hitting Tank Davis harder than he actually was? Now, if you're not Gervonta Tank Davis taking the actual punches, how could you say he looked like he was hitting harder than he actually hits? Because of his physical appearance makes it look like he hits harder than he actually does? So if you have a slender build and you come out on a football field and you dress up like Deion Sanders, it's going to make you look like you run faster than you actually run? So he says that he was getting off on Tank, but the punches wasn't as hard as they actually appeared to be because Frank Martin's physique actually makes the punches look harder than they actually are. Nonetheless, this is a good fight. It's said that they're going to fight. Now it looks like it could be moved up because we just got report that the Premier Boxing Champion and Amazon partnership, their first pay-per-view or their second pay-per-view will be before their actual first free card. And they're expecting the free card to now take place in June, which looks like Tank Davis and Frank Martin can now actually take place possibly in April or May. It can actually be moved up, right? Or it could be a free card in June and Tank Davis's pay-per-view card in June as well, right? The old HBO Showtime format used to be they would have a pay-per-view card that month, okay? Let's say in this case they're saying Tank Davis could fight June 8th. So let's say Tank Davis fought June 8th on pay-per-view. Then that following Saturday, which could be, I believe, June 16th or June 15th, right? The following Saturday, they will have a free card, a non-pay-per-view card, and then they would re-air the pay-per-view card from a week ago before the actual non-pay-per-view live fight took place immediately following after. So it could be a situation like that, right? But this is a great fight. Frank Martin is 18 wins, no loss, no draw, 12 wins by way of knockout. He is 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. He's a southpaw who's very fast, fast hands, fast feet, very coordinated, has a great jab, high ring IQ, and is elusive. He's going to present to Gervonta Tank Davis, who is 29 wins, no loss, no draw, 27 big wins by way of knockout. He is 29 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. So Frank Martin has a 1-inch arm reach advantage. He's 3 inches taller, and they're both southpaws. Tank Davis has the edge in power. He's explosive, fast hands, fast feet. Tank doesn't have as active of feet and hands as Frank Martin does, right? But nonetheless, Frank Martin is a very, very quick, twitchy fighter. Gervonta Tank Davis relies on counterpunch ability. So that's what makes this so intriguing and so interesting. Not to mention Gervonta Tank Davis has not been in the ring going into this fight. If this fight took place in June, he would have been out the ring for 14 months. Okay, last time he fought was April 22nd against Ryan Garcia in 2023. So if this fight takes place in June, it'll be over a year since Gervonta Tank Davis fought, and he was dealing with legal issues. So this is impressive to me to fight Frank Martin, because I know a lot of people look at this fight with Frank Martin and a lot of people say, well, Frank Martin is, a cherry pick. Frank Martin hasn't done anything. I'm looking at it solely not for the accomplishments or the lack thereof accomplishments from Frank Martin, but I'm looking at it from a standpoint of the skill set, the talent, the athletic ability. The fact that when you look from Gervonta Tank Davis' resume from top to bottom, especially at the very top, the biggest names he fought was Leo Santa Cruz, Mario Barrios, and Ryan Garcia. And now he did fight Jose Pedraza and Cuellar. Those are good fights. But just looking at the style, I would say the guy that he faced that was anything near close to what Frank Martin can present would be Pedraza. But even Pedraza is not as elusive and twitchy as Frank Martin, right? He doesn't have the hand speed and the ability to react to what Tank Davis is doing as quickly as anybody else on Tank Davis's resume. That's what's so intriguing to me. It's to see Gervonta Tank Davis in the ring with a style is completely different than what he's accustomed to seeing. Completely different. So has Frank Martin fought a guy on the level of Tank Davis? No. But who can he fight on the level of Tank Davis? Nobody, right? Because what Tank Davis brings to the ring it's hard for Frank Martin to mimic that, right? He hasn't seen that. So, again, there's nobody that Frank Martin can fight to say, well, he's never been in the ring with nobody like Tank. Of course not. Unless he gets in the ring with Gervonta Tank Davis himself, he'll never be in there with anybody like Gervonta Tank Davis. So I never understand these types of quotes and comments, right? Nonetheless, this is going to be a very interesting stylistic matchup. And I can't wait to see how Gervonta Tank Davis, who's typically has a low output, right? He's not very active. He's a very reactive type of fighter who is a boxer puncher that happens to have natural out of this world power. So he waits. He's very patient. Frank Martin is a very calculated, twitchy boxer that can apply pressure, but also fight on the back foot and can fight, lateral very well as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this fight plays out. But I just find it very strange that he would say that he don't hit as hard as he looks like he hits. And Tank Davis is expecting to knock out Frank Martin. It's going to be interesting to see. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. That's all I got for y'all. I'm gone. Peace.